What's good, YouTube? SlimTv here to put in a good word or two. Today I want to talk about 5 steps to forever avoid being gaslit. Now, before we get into it, what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where somebody makes you question your perception, your reality, your memory, all of that, in order to manipulate you into thinking that you are the problem. Let's get right into it. Number 1. Stand your ground. The gaslighter is going to try and make it seem like you are in the wrong all the time, even if you know that you are not. So to avoid that, simply do not argue and only make factual statements, right? So if somebody is saying, well, I saw you in the kitchen last night, when you clearly know that you weren't, just say, no, I was not in the kitchen. There's no need to get emotional. There's no need to start arguing all over the place, making invalid points and whatnot. Because see, that's just going to add fuel to the gaslighter. They're just going to keep making up things in order to dig you into a deeper hole. Just make factual statements. And if you can, find a third opinion instead of just having a conversation between you two, because obviously the gaslighter, he wants to make it seem like you're the villain all the time. But if you add a third party into the mix, they can't necessarily do that. Alright, step 2. Do not get overly emotional. The gaslighter, they know what they're doing. They know that they're getting under your skin a little bit. They know that what they're saying is annoying you, because see, nobody likes to be accused. That is actually one of my pet peeves. Like, that will really get me feeling some type of way if I'm accused and I know that I did absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah, that's gonna make me angry. But instead of feeding into it, getting emotional, like, I didn't do that. What are you talking about, bro? Don't. Don't even do it. Stay calm. Keep the same tone of voice as you always do, because see, when the gaslighter sees that you are remaining calm, their incentive to keep pushing it lowers. And they can't, they're not gonna have as much fun. They get a certain sense of validation when they see that you're starting to crumble and get emotional. So don't. Keep a poker face. Even if you feel some type of way, just hold it in and relax. You got this, bro. Step 3. Remember the magnitude of the situation. Gaslighters will often downplay the situation, but do not let them. Instead, let them know that the situation was a big deal and that you're not just going to forget that happened. You're not going to let that slide. You're not gonna let it slide, bro. If they did something to you, like just like a kindergarten example, if they took your pencil and they're like, no, you took my pencil. Nah, bro, you took my pencil, bro. Give it back. Don't let that slide. And they're gonna be like, well, how do you know I took your pencil when I took your pencil? You took like just a bunch of confusing shit. See, their whole method is to confuse you. Don't let them confuse you. Remember what happened, and don't let it slide. Don't let them get away with it. Step 4, make them the main focus of the conversation. See, the gaslighter, they're gonna try and play the blame game. They're gonna be like, no, you did that. Nah, you are the main character here, gaslighter. You're the culprit, not me. You're not gonna play with my mind. See, gaslighters, you guys have to be super, like, in your head at least, like, just understand that the gaslighter believes that you are dumb enough to believe that you did something, even though that you know that they're the one who did it. They think that you're dumb enough to fall for the okie doke. Keep them at the main focus. Don't let them change the conversation to you. Don't let them change the conversation to somewhere else. Be like, nah, bro, it's you. It's you, and keep that finger pointed. Everyone's like, well, you can't point fingers because you got 4 fingers pointing back. Nah, forget that, bro. Keep that finger pointed right at them, bro. They're sus. They're the imposter. Number 5. This is the best piece of advice out of this whole list. Ignore them. Now, I know I talked about don't let what they did slide in, number 3. But sometimes, 9 times out of 10, the gaslighter does not want the situation to be resolved. Instead, they want to blame everything on you and get away with it. And if they keep persisting at doing that, it's just time to ignore them. Someone who does not want to find a solution is not worth your time. So instead of going back and forth talking about, no, you did this, I did this, no, did this happen, and the cow jumped over the moon, and this and that. Instead of all that, simply just ignore them. especially if it's a person that you don't even really want a relationship with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just like some random or someone you just met, just ignore them. Just let it go. Now, for family members and stuff, the other 4 steps, no, that's for them, okay? Because, you know, you want to try and keep a good relationship with your family members and close friends and whatnot. But for people that, you know, you don't even necessarily care about, just ignore them. And now, how does this relate to self-improvement? Well, it's very simple, guys. As we continue to grow in self-improvement and as we continue to uplift ourselves and get into better positions in life and start to look better, feel better, people are going to start noticing that. And the jealous ones are going to start trying to gaslight and do all these little sneaky things to try and get under our skin. And we're not going to let that slide. We're not going to let them get in the way of our self-improvement. We're not going to let them get in the way of our mindset and of our mind space. See, the number one way to get anybody off of their square, and what I mean by their square, you know, like what they're into or like what they're doing, like, you know, us self-improvement guys, you know, we're working on different things, various things, you know, we're staying in our lane, we're in our square. The number one way to get someone off of their lane or off of their square is to get them emotional. Because see, once you get emotional, you can't think straight, you're all over the place. It's like you're on a tightrope and you're wobbling. So this relates to self-improvement because it's going to help us stay on track, and it's going to help us realize what gaslighting is and how to avoid it, especially as, again, we get more successful in life. But guys, with that being said, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Love you guys. Peace.